It's time for the Northwoods Cooking Show. Starring Uncle Roy and Miss Callie, the troublemaking dog.
Hello and welcome to the Northwoods Cooking Show. This is our special edition Christmas special, and we're going to continue on with more sweet desserts and treats for the holiday season. So I'm your host, Uncle Roy, and this is my lovely assistant, Santa's helper herself. Oh, Miss Callie Alice. Come here, Callie. Come here, Callie. Callie Alice, come here. Got a treat. Want a cookie? Oh. Get over here and say hello to everybody. Come here. Hurry up. Oh. You don't get in positions. Oh. Turn around. Get over here. Oh. Come here. Turn around. Come here. Over this way. Oh, she's just going all the way back. Yeah. All right. So pretty. Oh, say Merry Christmas, everybody. Hello. On today's episode, we're going to be making a gingerbread pudding cake in a crock pot. Can you stand it? Oh my Lord. This is going to be a really special treat, and it's so simple to make. You could make this Christmas morning breakfast if you wanted to. And what we're going to start out with first is our gingerbread, and it comes in a mix. So this is even more simpler. And this is a 14.5 ounce box. This is the Betty Crocker gingerbread cake and cookie mix. What you can also do is substitute any flavor you want to, just as long as you get the proportions correctly. And it's they got pumpkin mix, the blueberry mix, whatever bread mix, banana flavors, etc. that you want to use to make this pudding cake. But this is going to be the gingerbread because we want it for the holiday season. So what I have in the crock pot, I already mixed up, is 1 box of the gingerbread. You pour that into a bowl, along with a 1/2 cup of milk and a 1/2 cup of raisins. And we just mix this all together, and it's going to be a really thick batter. So this we pour into the bottom of the crock pot. And then we just take and spread this around evenly all over. Now also too, with your raisins, the best thing to do is to store these in the refrigerator so that when you dig them out, they come out really easy to fill up your measuring cup. If you keep them in your cupboard, the humidity and the heat will take and make them all stick together, and you get a big old clump, and it's hard to get them apart. So just keep them in your refrigerator, and they just snap right out, boom, boom, boom. Just very simple. So now we have the gingerbread in the crock pot, and you want to turn this on high. Make sure it's on high, not low. It has to be on high. Then we're going to take and make the caramel sauce. Now this is 2 1/4 cups of water, which I have in the pot. We're going to heat this up. We're going to bring it to a boil, along with 3/4 cup of brown sugar, and you want to make sure it's packed in good into your measuring cup. And I just use the side of the bag since I get my brown sugar in a bag like that. I just pack it in using the side of the bag, and then you don't have to sit there and dirty up, more silverware or tools or anything. Get it all in one step. And a quarter makes 3/4 cup. And then we also, say those twisties. Those twisties come in handy. I got a whole bunch here in my silverware drawer. That's where I keep the twisties. Because it helps to seal and keeps the air out of the brown sugar then, so it doesn't get hard on you. Then we need a 3/4 cup of milk, or butter, I mean. Now this is important too, that when you make your caramel sauce, even if it's not this recipe, you don't want to take and microwave your butter and melt it. Then add it to your brown sugar and water, etc., or milk or cream, whatever you're using. Because the heat from the ingredients need to blend the sugars and the butters together. They need to heat up together. So they infuse together to make your caramel sauce. Otherwise, if you put that melted butter into the sugars, it's going to separate, and then you're going to end up with this real hard, crunchy thing, almost like peanut butter, kind of, sort of, because it's just it coagulates and it just does not fit together, mix together. So you have to heat your butter and your sugars up together so the chemical reaction gets infused together, and then it will make your caramel sauce. So we're going to bring this to a boil, and then once this comes to a boil, then we'll turn it down to a very low heat and let it gently boil for an additional 2 minutes on a low heat. And that'll be our caramel sauce. So we'll just solve this, take and wait, and then we'll put this on inside on top of the cake mix. Okay, now our caramel sauce is all done. And now we just take and pour this all over the cake mix inside. Just pour it on generously. Just try not to do it too hard in one spot, because you don't want to make a hole in the batter. And we'll just let this sit and get a cover. Oh, too small. And set this aside. Remember to keep it on high, and we'll let that cook for 2 hours, and then our gingerbread pudding cake will be done. And then you can just take and scoop it out and put on ice cream or whipping cream or whatever. And I've got some peppermint flavored whipping cream. That would be a nice little treat. So then we'll come right back. And while this is cooking, we can take and go on to make some other recipes. Are we on, Kelly? Is it on? Oh, it's on. And this is our lovely gingerbread pudding cake. Oh, look at her. Napping all the time. It's all done, then she shows up. She's such a piggly wiggly. Yes, you are. Lots of little piggy wigglies. And this is my peppermint whipping cream. Or you can just put vanilla ice cream on there too. Let that melt. And we'll get a close-up of that. And there is a lovely gingerbread pudding cake. Ooh, that looks good, don't it, Kelly? Ooh. Oh, there's troubles right there. Kelly, what doing? Oh, you want samples? Samples? Oh, she looks tired, but she is ready for a treat. Yeah, Callie had been helping me Christmas baking this year. Yeah, we did lots of treats this year. We hope you got to see some of our baking shows. We have lots of recipes out there, and we even brought in some of the old to bring in with the new. Callie and I like to wish you all a very, very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We enjoy doing our show so much, and we enjoy having you as our fans. So please keep in touch and keep watching us and throughout the coming year. And remember, we do more than just baking and cooking. We're also out in the gardens too, so enjoy everything in this world. Thank you so much for having us. Say goodbye, Callies. Yeah. Merry Christmas. Yeah. Oh, kisses. Yeah. Oh, yeah, wet willies. Oh, yeah, right in you. Okay, now we're going to go on to another recipe. Now we're going to make some Pffernuse cookies. Oh, God, these are so good. Oh, I don't know if you like anise seed or licorice taste and spices, but I do. I bought these once I don't know, about a month ago. They came out at the stores. And I thought, well, Pffernuse. I've never made them personally, but I've had them before, and I had different recipes before. And I really like them. They're good. I just never had the opportunity to make them before. I don't know why. I just had so many other recipes to do, I just forgot to do them. So I've been searching and trying out different recipes, and this Pffernuse is really, really good. Now it's going to be an overnight cookie, which means we got to refrigerate the dough overnight, and then we'll take and shape them tomorrow. So when I tape this after we stick them in the refrigerator, we might come back and do another recipe, or I'll come back tomorrow and turn on the camera and we'll continue and pick up where we left off. And now we've built a cookie. 24 hours have elapsed. That's the power of television. You can do that. But I'm thinking maybe I'll take and do some other refrigerator cookies. We'll see. I haven't done any refrigerator ones yet, Christmas refrigerated ones yet. Maybe we will. Anyway, so for this we need 1 stick of butter, softened. And I always keep my butter cold, you know, so I have to soften it. And the quick way to do that is in the microwave for 20 seconds. You don't want to melt it, you just want to soften it. So 20 seconds makes it nice and soft without melting it down. And we're going to take and beat this up along with a 1/2 cup of sugar until it gets really light and creamy, really light and fluffy. And I got my coffee here. And this here is the gingerbread coffee. I love flavored coffees, anything just about. And what I do with my flavored coffee is the gingerbread or even the pumpkin spice coffee. I'll take and put in like because I like mine with cream and sugar, but instead of cream, I put in eggnog. It gives it a wonderful flavor. And then I usually top it off with whipped cream and a couple of sprinkles, holiday sprinkles, you know, red and green. Wonderful little Christmas cocktails. Sure, you can probably put a shot of rum or brandy in there if you drink, but I don't. So that flavored coffee is just fine for me. It's that gingerbread and eggnog. Oh, and so is the pumpkin and eggnog. They just go so well together. Boy, they taste wonderful. Anyway, I just thought I'd give you that little tip. So now we got a 1/2 cup butter. We're going to beat this up along with a 1/2 cup of white sugar. And I like to put this in, you know, gradually, not all at once. Give it a chance to dissolve. And then we want to beat this for at least 3 or 4 minutes now. Remember, light and fluffy means that your sugar crystals are dissolved. So you don't get a crunch, you know, when you bite into it. So you want to dissolve those crystals. So good 3 to 4 minutes, and that makes it really fluffy. Okay, so that's all nice and fluffy. Now, of course, we always have to scrape down the bowl, sides of the bowl. Now, in another bowl here, we're going to be mixing in a 1/4 cup of light corn syrup. And remember now to always spray your little containers that you use for measuring, because that makes your syrup and molasses come out much nicer. And we need a 1/4 cup. See, it just comes right out. And then we need a 1/4 cup of molasses. And to that, we need 3 tablespoons of warm water. And you just want it warm because we want to melt this together. It doesn't have to be really hot, it doesn't matter. But you want to mix these syrups together. Okay, now in a third bowl, this is going to be all of our dry ingredients. We got the wet ingredients here, and now we need the dry ingredients in this bowl. And for here, let's see, let me get some of this out of the way here. We're going to be needing 3 1/3 cup of flour. And remember to level these off because we don't want to have extra amounts. That'll just dry out your cookie, especially on flour. Even the slightest teaspoon can really make it hard and dry. One, two, three. Yeah, where'd your cup go? Where's the third cupper? Oh, there it is. Don't use the third cupper that much. It's still in the drawer. Santa's helper's spying from the corner. Napping, she's yawning. Starting to wake up now, it's nighttime. She should wake up, she's been sleeping all day. Just like her master. Ah! Yeah. And to this flour, we need 2 tablespoons of crushed anise seed, or aniseed, however you want to pronounce it. And what I do is I take the 2 tablespoons of aniseed and put it in my coffee grinder. That grinds up really fine. But make sure you wipe out that grinder before really clean and after really clean with a dry paper towel. Because you don't want to have leftover anise seed into your next batch of coffee, or you don't want coffee into your anise seed either. You know, it works both ways. So you just want to grind that up so it gets nice and fluffy and aromatic. It breaks open the seeds. Then we need a half teaspoon of baking soda. And I just bought myself a new box, brand new one. Just opened it now, my first time. And I still probably had about a bottom left here, but I always take and throw them out and get new baking soda and powder for the Christmas season for baking. That's when I always refresh mine. That and state fair competition around June or so. I'll get another one, renew it. They're good for about a year, but still, I throw them out after 6 months. Then, let's see, baking soda, cinnamon. A half teaspoon of cinnamon. And a 1/4 teaspoon each of nutmeg. No, just a 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. It's an 1/8 teaspoon of allspice, which is half of a 1/4. And an 1/8 teaspoon of ground cloves, which again is half of a 1/4. And that's all of our spices. And of course, I always use my wire whisk for my dry ingredients, especially on this now, because you want to get all the spices blended in thoroughly and evenly. You don't want to bite into a cookie and get a big old chunk of this or that. So you want to make sure your dry ingredients are thoroughly blended, especially that anise seed, because you want that licorice flavor all over the place. Oh, I love the taste of these. These are so good. Now, in my butter and sugar mixture, I want to take and add 1 egg to that. I just saw my egg there. I'm like, ooh. Put in there. Oh. I can always do this one-handed. But sometimes it works. It doesn't work. Scrape that bowl. Make sure all the ingredients get the egg in there. And then we're going to scrape our beater, because we're not going to use our beater anymore now. Because remember, that beater will take and activate the gluten, because it's a powerful force behind the beater, and that's too much pressure on your dough, and that flour will get activated, and that'll give you a tough, rougher cookie. So So now you want to freshen up the liquid again. Let's make sure there's corn syrup and molasses is mixed in. And we're just going to take and alternate mixing this in. Get my wooden spoon. So I'm going to put in about 1/3 of the flour mixture. Oh, that smells so good, gal-allies. Oh. And I'll put in about 1/2 of the liquid. Almost looks like a molasses crinkle or ginger snap type dough. And I'll put in 1/2 of what the remaining of this is. And the last of the liquid. And then we put in the last of the flour. Now you just want to mix this up until all that flour and dry ingredients are mixed in with the dough. Make sure you get the bottom. Scrape the sides. And then we'll just take and transfer this into our container, or you can just put it in a big ball and put it in a plastic bag if you want, which I think is what I'll do. I just want to get this out of the big bowl first. Then I can form this into a big ball. Now this original recipe, everything is doubled. It makes 8 dozen cookies. And I'm like, oh no, I don't think so. I don't need to be making Pffernuse all night long. Now when you shape this into the ball, you just don't, you don't want to handle it that much. You just don't want to activate that gluten. We only need 1 bag, Callie. They all come out. And then we'll just put this in the bag. Go. And refrigerate this overnight. And then we'll come back tomorrow and finish making our Pffernuse. Okay, now through the magic of television, this is 24 hours later. And now we got our Pffernuse cookie dough. And remember the cookie scoopers, because those help out immensely. It doesn't give you a perfect cookie, well, kind of, sort of, but what it does, it gives you the perfect portion so that all your cookies are the same size. And now we just take and shape this into balls. And we're going to put these into a 400-degree oven for about 11 minutes. And then when they come out, leave them on the sheet for about a minute to set and to slightly cool, because you want to still keep them warm. You don't want them to be ice cold, but you don't want them hot either, because then they're going to crumble apart. So after you take them out of the oven, let them sit on the sheet for about a minute or so, and then move them to your cooling rack to cool almost completely, but not quite. You want them still warm, just like Russian tea cakes. And then we'll put powdered sugar into the bag, add a few cookies, and then just roll them gently around and dust them off. And those will be our Pffernuse. And we'll show you when we get all done baking. Remember, 400 degrees for about 11 minutes. And then these are the lovely Pffernuse. This is that German cookie. Mmm. Oh, I said the word. Where's Callie? Oh, here she comes, jingle bells. With that aniseed and all the spices in there. Mmm, that are tasty. Oh, here comes the sampler. Santa's helper, where's your horns? Now this is part of the show where we do our question and answer period. If you have any questions on baking or canning, cooking, even gardening tips, feel free to write us at the Northwoods Cooking Show at yahoo.com. We'll try to answer your questions best we possibly can. Santa's helper, where's your hat? So let's see who wrote us this week, Callie.
Who is the Santa?
Get over in position. Dear Uncle Roy and Miss Callie, how many pound beef roast do I need to get to serve 7 people? Signed, Anne of Everett, Massachusetts. Oh, thanks, Anne. Oh, everybody asks that question. It's the same way with ham or any type of meat roast that you want to bake. It depends on how much, how big a piece you want to give people. Now, basically for your beef roast, if you have 7 people, you want to figure probably like about 8-ounce portion of steak. So that's like, half a pound. Now, some people can eat more, some people are going to eat less, but you figure, about 8 ounces or so. So you got 7 people, 8 times 7, 56. So there you go. That would be 56 ounces, which would be 16, 32. So you're like about a 3.5, 4 pound roast. So you just want to figure out that way. Figure out like about, 8 ounces. So you got 2, 4, 6, and then 7. So that'd be 3.5 pound roast. And then you do that same thing then too with ham and stuff. You always want to count about how many, especially when you do a roast, because you're cutting out a steak, how big a portion do you want to give? Now, I always like to get a prime rib at Christmas time. I love a prime rib roast. And everybody asks too, well, how big a one do you get to serve 5 people? Well, just how big do you want to give out to your people? How big a portion do you want to give out to your guests? That's how you go by, and then you just multiply that many ounces to how many people you have, and then there you go. Usually about a 5 pound roast of any kind is going to be great for a family of anywhere from 4 to 6. Because like I said, some people, you're going to eat larger pieces, some are going to have smaller. And then you always want to have a little leftover for sandwiches the next day. Hope that answers your question, Anne. And, from the dusty nose of Santa's helper, we like to say, healthy eating, be safe, spread the sunshine, and Merry Christmas, everybody, and a Happy New Year. Oh, she lost her hat.